So one of my favorite all-time pedals is the Fairfield Circuitry Shallow Water. For me, it's one of those ones where the moment you turn it off, you immediately notice and you can't really live without it anymore. It's mono in and mono out. You know, even my mono synthesizers like the Sequential Pro 3 or the Moog Matriarch, both of those are mono synthesizers, yet they have stereo outputs. And so I've always been wanting to get a stereo version of an effect like this. And at one point in time, I actually managed to have two Cooper FX Generation Loss Mark IIs in the house, and I tried to run them in stereo. And even with the settings set as close as I could get them, it was way too out of whack and too out of phase with each other to really be coherent as a unified kind of sound. And so I kind of abandoned that experiment. The Zoia, there's a large community of users that like to share the patches that they've created, and there have been some generation loss and shallow water kind of replica patches, but done in stereo. And so that's the one that we'll be using today, is we are going to be testing out the Deep Water. And so originally this track has some major kind of Juno vibes in it. The lead synthesizer is a Juno synthesizer. So here's what it sounds like. So that's what it's the Juno synth there. And let's go ahead and turn it on. The Deep Water. You can see there's a little bit of movement there, but you know, the Junos, they have those lovely chorus on it, and it gives it a lot of movement already. Plus, you know, they're analog, so they're not quite as static as maybe some of the more modern synthesizers. But yeah, you can definitely hear that movement. It's almost like somebody doubled the chorus. You know, I'm pretty happy with that sound. But you know, if you wanted to get a little bit more drastic, okay, let's hear it in the track. Dry. This is dry. There it is. It's a little bit too much. I'm gonna go ahead and take it back. I kind of started off at 50. It kind of sounded pretty good there, I thought. Dry. Wet. Right now we're dry. So already you can hear that it's got the noise that the shallow water doesn't add in tape hiss. So we can just turn that off, make it fair. Maybe turn down this flutter a little bit. Start with the flutter there, start with the wow there, saturate about there. So this is no model here. Let's go through the models. That's VHS 1, second generation. I think that's third generation. That's the Porter Studio 1. but turn the fader all the way. It's gonna add some crinkles and stuff, but I turned off all the snags and drops because I thought this was too much. Saturate it. And you see there's a small amount of the dry signal mixed in. That's all wet there. Let's go ahead, and then here's small, and then here's unity. Okay, let's hear it in the track. I don't know if I like it that full on. Let's go with a small amount of dry in there. Let's go to another model. Here's ported to you. You can hear it's muffled. I think I like. Oh no, it's still too tinny. Too tinny. I think this is the Fisher Price one. Kind of like it, actually. I mean, it's kind of muffled, but it seems to fit okay in the overall track. I mean, I don't know. One of the things I love about the Junos is that kind of the fizzy on the high, that fizzy Juno fizz there, and the Gen Loss is kind of losing that a little bit as it adds the vibe, as the mojo, but it loses that high fizz. This is a reel-to-reel version. Nah, a little bit too much there. Yeah, I really missed the high fizz. So I'm gonna put it at unity there so I can get that high fizz back and see if I can't get some movement. Too much. It just sounds like the tape's out of tune, right? It sounds like the pitch speed is not correct, and it does what it says on the tin. Try. Which one do you like better? So even if the 106 maybe didn't need that kind of help in terms of coming alive because it's an older vintage analog synth, let's go with a more modern synth this time, right? The Sequential Prophet Rev 2, which to me has always never quite hit the sweet spot for me, which is why I no longer own it. But I used it in this track, and let's see if we can't make it come alive. Okay, so let's go Gen Loss Mark II. Here's what it sounds like in context. So we can go through the different models here. So this is no tape simulation. Tape sim is just the kind of effects here, but not actually modeling it in actual tape. Let's just do it in context. There's VHS 1. I think that VHS 2. VHS 3. Sounds like it's another room. There's Porter Studio 2. I don't know, there's something a little bit too tinny about that one. Yeah, that one's a little bit too weird and phasey. Oh. Maybe that effect will be right in a track, but not this one. Maybe we can add some more wow and flair to this one. Maybe a little bit more saturation. Yeah, that one sounds really out of phase or something. Yeah, I find that with the wow, you can't really go too far with it without getting really just out there. So about 9 o'clock is probably my max usually that I've found so far. The flutter you can go a little bit further with. Let's bring in the rest of the track, which is the guitar solo. That's, you know, I've got an idea. Why don't we take it off the synthesizers? So we're gonna take it off the synthesizers and send the guitars through it instead. So let's go ahead and so now I'm sending the guitar through it instead. Right now it's dry. Let's go ahead and mute the synths for now. Whoa, I really I was thinking the guitars didn't need the help, but that sounds pretty good to me. Where was this pedal when I was mixing the track? Yeah, no, that sounds good to me. Let's bring in the synthesizer. Yeah, you can see once I take it off, it sounds a little bit more static. And I don't mind it so lively. It's not as distracting as when I had it on the synth. And let's go ahead and bring the solo in. Okay, so since we ended on the guitar with the gen loss, let's go ahead and keep it on the guitar with the Zoia here. It's gonna be the Zoia here. Not really hearing too much difference there. Let's turn down the dampening. And then let's turn up the depth here. I think I'm finally starting to hear it. Let's just turn off. Let's. You can definitely hear the jumps there. Maybe turn up the filter low. Yeah, once you get up to about 70 on the Zoia, it turns into a jumping effect machine, and not so much like the Shallow Water, which kind of is a little bit more subtle. Go 70% mix. So I'm definitely hearing it now. A little jump frog. I mean, sometimes the Shallow Water does do that, but it's a little bit more subtle. It doesn't sound so unnatural. That sounds kind of like alien effects almost. Losing some high in there, which I didn't want to too much. Okay, let's hear it in the track. I'm not sure if it's adding as much as the gen loss did. When I got the gen loss on the guitar, it brought a big smile to my face. And the Zoia, the Deep Water, is not quite doing the same type of thing. So here's what it sounds like in the full track. And we're going to send guitar back through the track and send the synthesizers back through the pedals and see if maybe that makes a difference. You can hear it really. The guitar was too staccato to really hear the depth of the effects that's doing. It's kind of cool. I kind of dig it. Let's hear it in context. I think it's too much, but that's the. Let's go mix down to 50. Maybe dampen it a little bit more. Let's go dampen up to 50. Maybe let's dampen it a little bit less. 45. About 42 is where it really starts to become noticeable. 40, you can really hear it. Well, maybe I have to go further. Yeah, so if we go to about 40, I think we're 39. Sounds pretty good there. Let's go to 40. It still feels like it's too much, right? Let's go 45. What do you think? Let me know what you think in the comments. Next video, I think I might have to just shoot it out against the OG, the Shallow Water. I'll have to figure out what to do about the mono versus the stereo here. But since this is kind of the granddaddy of what I'm trying to make this thing do, it seems like this is what's got to happen next. So I'll see you next time.